Sweep.
We are sweeping again.
Sweep.
And it's gonna go down.
It is.
It's about to
Queen
go
V,
down.
Empress, time to sweep.
Hope you're ready.
Welcome back to S.W.E.E.P, Sisters Who Educate with Purpose. I am your amazingly beautiful host, Queen V.
You better be beautiful.
And
well,
amazing.
I'm equally beautiful host, Empress.
You are beautiful.
You are beautiful.
You are beautiful.
Okay, we're
and
beautiful.
This show today is beautiful. Today's show is pretty awesome.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
I am also. Today we're going to discuss marriage in ministry from the viewpoints of two very lovely elect ladies.
And these particular ladies, first of all, they're amazing.
They are.
And they hold something that is very important, the role in the church. They're the most watched women in African American churches today.
Yes.
And I think about, underneath the dirt, when we think about it, the most watched woman in the world is Michelle Obama.
Yes.
The epitome of class, genuity. You see her and
Perfect at it.
when I grow up, I'm going to be like Michelle Obama.
If there was ever a woman to look up to, Michelle.
She has so many wonderful programs with fitness, and she goes to see the homeless, and oh my goodness, the traveling that she does, and she does it flawlessly.
Yes.
Flawlessly. I love this woman. I love her style, everything about her. The most watched woman.
The most. But you can't tell that it bothers her.
Oh, not at all.
I've never seen her sweat.
Not at all. You know what my favorite thing about Michelle Obama is the fist bump that she did. With her, I was like, now see, that is a woman, because she was like, I don't care if my husband's running. Let's do this. We got this, and I love
supporting.
that. Yes.
That supporting role that is so important. Yes, the man is in the limelight. Yes, that is his job. That is what God called him to do. But he can't do it alone.
Right.
And he needs that support. He needs to be able to go home and fall apart in front of somebody who will help put him back together. Not somebody to spread his business and tear him down.
Absolutely. And traditionally in African American churches, the lady who is married to the pastor is called the first lady. And so in African American churches, we have these women who are supposed to set the example for young women in the church that are going to help them to become classy and to show them what it's like to be a woman. I'll say it. I'm gonna say it.
Okay.
Proverbs 31.
Okay.
Woman.
That we all aspire to be.
Yes.
She's become cliche-ish, but she's very important.
What?
Those guidelines are very important.
Are very important. And I'm happy that we have two very women who are the Proverbs 31 women.
Yes.
They are the epitome.
Or they strive to be.
Yes.
Whether they meet it or not is between them and God, but as far as we know,
yes,
that's a goal that they set for themselves. And they're trying to walk it out.
They're going to reach that goal no matter how hard it is. And we are glad that these ladies are going to be with us.
Yes. So when you see us again, you'll see us with our two new guests.
Lady Chelsea Jackson is a native of Dallas, Texas, the wife of Pastor Corey F. Jackson, bonus mother to Caden L. Jackson, and the elect lady of the Oak Hill Baptist Church located in South Dallas. She is a proud alum of Texas Southern University located in Houston, Texas, graduating with a Bachelor of Science in Health Administration. Lady Jackson is also a graduate of Concordia University with a Master of Education and is currently working toward an educational diagnostician certification. She is presently an educator in the public school system. Lady Jackson plans to return to school after completing her diagnostician certification to complete a PhD in educational psychology. Lady Jackson often states that her first ministry is her husband. She keeps Pastor Jackson covered in prayer, showers him with support, and intercedes on his behalf. Currently, Lady Jackson serves as the servant leader of the Women of Class Ministry is a praise team member, and on the intercessory prayer team at the Oak Hill Baptist Church. In November 2014, God gave her vision to share her experiences with women in ministry. From this vision, Unshaded Revelations blog was born. Her passion in ministry is focused on empowering women and children through various mediums, conferences, workshops, after-school sessions, etc.
Lady Tracy Anderson was born on March 5th to the proud parents of Thomas and Wyoming Jones, who raised her in excellence to fear the Lord. She is a graduate and alumni of Health Professions Magnet School. She currently has a career of 22 years in the neurodiagnostic field and a thriving candle business. She also holds certifications in child care and in the healthcare field. She attended First Step to Medicine Training Institute, Incorporated, where she received her certification as a nurse's aide. Lady Anderson grew up under the leadership of the late Elder Edward Calloway at the Lighthouse Church of God in Christ. There she worked faithfully in the music department and the usher board. In her adulthood, she became a member of the Greater Providence Baptist Church in Dallas, Texas, under the leadership of Johnny Eads. There, she diligently worked as a choir director and in the youth department. She also served as a leader of the New Member Orientation Ministry. Lady Anderson is the owner of Amazing Sense Candles. She is operating in her calling from God and ministering as God leads her. She is looking forward to growing in God day by day, for the steps of a man, or in her case, a woman, are ordered by the Lord. And now it's time to sweep. And we have our guests here. We're so happy to have you, ladies.
Yes. We're going to start out with elect Lady Chelsea Jackson.
Hello.
Hello.
Welcome. And then we have elect Lady Tracy Anderson.
Hello.
How are you?
I'm well, thanks. How are you guys doing?
We're good.
Wonderful.
We're so glad to have y'all. Thank you
Yes.
for coming.
Awesome.
I'm going to start off real hard because I know, being elect ladies, how difficult it is to be elect ladies and have that role in African American church. So you tell us, what is the hardest part about being a pastor's wife?
I love that you said in the African American church.
It's real.
I think for me, the hardest part of being an elect lady within the African American church is eyes are always on you.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody's always watching. They're waiting for you to jack up so they can go and tell, girl, sister so-and-so.
Because you got to tell it.
We got no time.
Yes.
That's one of the hardest things because you don't want to mess up your witness for anybody. And so that's one of the hardest things, knowing that other people are watching you, and then you have those that actually look up to you. And so you try and stay on the straight and narrow because you don't want anybody to fall off because of something you said or something you did.
I concur. That's in all churches.
Yeah.
No matter what nationality you are, they always put that first lady, most of them, up here. And it's hard to stay up there because we're still human. We're still human. We still have hurt. We still have pain. We still cry. We still do all kinds of things. So it's kind of hard to stay up there and keep that smiling face.
Absolutely.
And smile through the pain because we're still human.
Most definitely. Wow.
And we forget sometimes that y'all are human. With anything, especially with ministry.
Most definitely.
So we know that being married to pastors, you're called on a lot. And being over churches, you guys are involved in just about everything. So what's a typical week in your houses?
Oh, well, for me, I'm a mother. Typical week is, first of all, I get up and I go work out. And then I have my praise and worship. I study my word. And I get my daughter off. By the time pastor's up, I get him out. Everybody gone, and it's my house. It's to myself. And it's me and God. That's my time, just me and the Lord. And if I have other things to do, I make sure I put God first, and then get my other things out the way. And then, of course, I got to be a wife, cook, clean, and all the other good stuff. But most definitely, I get my time in and God's time in.
Do y'all have midweek services?
No, we do not. We have Right now we're having morning prayer every Wednesday morning on conference call. Then we have Bible study through conference call every first and third Thursdays. So that has kept us from doing a lot of ripping and running for right now. Right now.
Right, for right now.
Yes, for right now. Right now.
What's a Sunday like?
A Sunday is, for us, Pastor and I, is 7:30 in the morning. We're setting up because we're in the church. We're setting up. We have to set up the chairs. We have to make sure everything is up, flowing and right. And service starts at 8 o'clock in the morning. And
God bless.
yes. It's hard, but once you get up and you get your, I get my coffee in.
Ooh,
and I
bless
get up
God.
there. And once
Coffee
you
free
get
down
into service going and the presence of the Lord is there, you forget what time it is.
Absolutely.
You're just going in, and that's our typical service. 8 o'clock in the morning, we'll probably be done by 9:45, but we done had an awesome time.
Oh.
What about your week?
Well, Pastor and I both work. So, of course, we're both up early at the crack of dawn to work. And majority of my time with God is on the way to work. Asking God to, bless me and bless these kids, because I am a teacher. Bless these kids.
Yes, bless them.
Before I get there.
Calling over here.
And then also, if I didn't get a chance to pray with Pastor before we left, I called him, hey, we need to pray. We need to make sure everything is okay and everything is everything. And that's pretty much it. And then for the most part on Wednesdays, we're trying to get back into the swing of things as far as Bible study is concerned. We were on hiatus for a minute, but I believe we're about to get it back kicking.
Yes.
So we have Bible study on Wednesday nights, and Saturday we're at the church for rehearsals or meetings,
right.
ministry meetings or practices for something. So we're constantly on the go.
Wow.
That's a busy
Yes.
life.
Yes.
So
The Lord took me off of my job.
Oh.
When I got married, and I think it was because he wanted me to trust him now.
Wow.
He took me off a full-time job. Now I'm a full-time mother, a wife, and pastor still work, and I have to uphold him. But it's a trust thing.
Yes.
It's a trust thing.
So with so much ministry going on, when do you guys get to have your couple time? And how do you maximize on that when you do get it?
I text my husband.
Modern technology is what that is.
Tonight is date night, sir. Come on, ready. We going out.
As a reminder, you're not going to forget about me.
That too. Even with speaking with Pastor, we've talked about we have to make sure that we stay connected.
Absolutely.
If nothing else stays connected, we have to stay connected, especially for ministry to be effective, because that affects his ministry when we're not on one accord. So we have to set time aside. It may not be the same time every week or every 2 weeks or whatever, but we set time aside for us. Just this past week, we sat at home Sunday and Monday, turned phones off and watched movies all day long. That was our time together to make sure that we connected.
So it's not like you have, what do y'all do in your own time? Let us pray.
Oh
and
no.
fast.
Oh no. There's a time for all things.
Right.
And we set a time out for our fasting and praying, the church, because he is the head over there. But also he's also my husband.
You're right.
Most definitely.
We need some time together.
Yes.
Right.
So if I have to text him and say we're going out tonight. If we're going to have movie night and popcorn, we're going to have movie night and popcorn. Sometimes they get so consumed into the ministry. They forget, it's not intentionally, but they forget that, okay, I do have a wife. So now we got to bring them back into reality. I'm still your wife.
Right.
So
We're a couple.
we're a couple.
Right.
Let's hang out a little.
Right. Take your hat off.
Exactly. Right.
Take that hat off.
Exactly.
Right. So let's talk about some boundaries that you guys have to set for the ministry and the family. What boundaries do you guys set when it comes to your ministry and family?
Wow. Boundaries for me, for the ministry is, once we get home, if we can settle it at church, Let's set it in the church. Sometimes it has to overflow, and we have to do things at the home. Once it's done, it's over with. Because that's our domain now. I need you and I to be connected, because there's other things that's going on in this household. And as for family, you know, we'll let them put their input, but I cut it at a certain point.
Absolutely.
This is still my husband.
To involve in my relationship.
Exactly.
Right.
Most definitely. I think I would have to concur with elect lady with a lot of the stuff that goes on. We do try and nip it at the bud before it even makes it to 929.
Right. You know, bring it on.
We try to make sure.
Right.
But sometimes inevitably it does hit home.
Yes,
It does
true.
come home with
That's
you.
true.
But that's if we're cognizant of it, then we try and nip it before it even makes it to 929. We may nip it in the car,
Yes.
but before we hit that driveway, it's done. It's over with. And even with the family input, you're a little bit more lenient than I am with family input. I'm not. This is mine. This is ours.
I already have to share it with the church.
Right. I don't do too well with family input.
Y'all hear that?
Blame
That that woman's husband, she didn't ask for your opinion when she did. That's like it. Don't answer it. She didn't really want an answer to that.
Wow.
So for you, we know that when you married, your husband was already pastoring. So how was walking into First Ladyhood?
That's a word.
Is it?
That's a
Okay.
word.
How was that transition? Leaving a home church, a whole new church family, and all of a sudden you're important.
Difficult, to say the least. It was difficult because I'm at my home church. I'm good. I'm just Chelsea at my home church. That's it. Nothing more, nothing less. I sing in the choir, sang on the praise team, whatever. That was it. I got here. It was a whole new ball game. I'm a leader now. I'm having to I'm over women now. I'm not. So it became extremely difficult, and I think part of the difficulty that came with it was the unspoken expectations that people put on you, and even those that you put on yourself from what you thought the first lady should have been, or what you thought you were supposed to do based on what you saw everybody else do, you know, growing up in the church. So I think that was the most difficult part of it, trying to learning how to continue to be me in this role, being me, being accepted for me, being okay with being me, but with the added role of first lady or elect lady or lady or.
It's so hard. I can't even imagine. But yours is different from elect lady Jackson's, because you and your husband started a ministry together. So what type of reactions, or how did you react when Pastor Fred goes, "Hey, let's start a ministry"?
God told me.
Yes.
That's why he said it.
Question answered. We can move on.
Yeah.
Truthfully, I cried. I wept and wept.
Wow.
I wept. I cried. Because it's more than a title. There's souls now we have to deal with.
Wow.
And I wept and I asked him, "Is this you sure God told you this? Are you sure?" Because he didn't tell me.
Why isn't he talking to both of us?
If he told you, he's supposed to tell you.
I didn't hear it, and I kept on crying and weeping. And finally, I just said, "Okay, Lord, if this is your will, let it be done." And I will be submissive and follow him, and I push him to that. It's a journey. It is a journey because it requires a lot from you. Not only just from the pastor, but from the first lady. It requires a lot. I'm pushing my husband to his destiny. I'm pushing by praying. I'm pushing by fasting. I'm pushing by covering him. He's my husband, now he's my pastor.
Right.
So I'm doing all kinds of stuff. So now I'm just like, ooh, Lord. And then I have to come in and still be in a leader role.
Right.
And that's difficult because I'm used to sitting down. I'm used to directing a choir, doing something different. You asked me to do it, I'm going to do it. Now I'm up here in a leadership role. So now the game has changed. But I'm still there. I'm a leader, and I have to carry myself like a leader.
Right. At all times.
At all times. At all times. At all times. I might want to be angry. I'm angry sometimes. I'm upset by something that's going on. But I still have to carry myself as a leader. I still have to come here and smile.
Yes.
Right.
You know,
Yes.
I have to
Through
smile.
whatever.
The hurt is the hurt.
Yes.
My child might have done something. I have to come in here and smile.
Right.
Right.
And still have hear God's voice, because I might have to pray for somebody.
Yes.
Mhm.
So it's just a title to me. It's just a title that requires more from me.
Well, was it strenuous starting the
Yes.
ministry?
Yes.
On it.
And I'm saying
Right
yes.
there. Yes.
Yes. Because you see the after effect. You don't see that the setting up. You don't see the financial part.
Right.
You don't see all this and trying that people say they for you and gonna be with you and don't show up.
Right.
That- That's totally different. You see, now you just sometimes at the beginning it was just he and I. We're gonna come in here, we're gonna get on our knees, and we're gonna pray.
Right.
We're gonna do whatever.
Right.
And someone told him to preach like there's 1,000 people in the building.
Right.
You know, until it comes. So that's what we doing. It's hard, and it's sometimes you get weary, and you like, Lord, is this you really called me to do this? You really called us to do this? But He said, if I call you to, I'm gonna bring you through.
Bring you through.
So with God, He is faithful.
Yeah.
If I can say, man's not faithful,
No.
but God is faithful.
Yes.
Even
He's
with the
faithful.
best intentions, we betray each other.
Yes.
I feel like we just got a word.
I mean, it's
Yeah.
just lit there right on record, right?
I just got a word.
So you spoke about seeing other first ladies, and so do you guys find yourselves conforming to what people think you should be, or taking little tidbits from what you've seen and incorporating that into your roles, or are you just, I'm gonna do this my way and I'm gonna be the new 2015 first lady?
This is the new model. This is the new model.
I think initially
Mhm.
it was me trying to conform and fit this mold that was, the supposed mold that was at the
Right.
invisible mold that nobody else saw. I saw it. It was me trying to fit this, cookie cutter image. And I think at this stage, especially where I am now, that cookie cutter is no longer there. I can only.
So you walked in there that first Sunday after you got married in your first lady hat?
No.
You thought you'd try that out?
No, we don't do hats. We don't do hats.
We gonna talk about that.
No, I don't do hats, but what I do, I felt like I had to look, of course I have to look a certain way. That's
Right. Don't come in here.
right. I can't, I have to look a certain way, and I felt like I had to say certain things, I had to do certain things to be first lady. But it wasn't until I was naive about the whole thing to begin with. But it wasn't until I really became, grew in Christ further than what it was, because my relationship had to grow. That I understood that, baby, you're okay with who you are.
Yeah.
You're okay. He's accepted you. It's not for everybody else to just accept you. God has accepted you where you are. He called you to this place where you are. You're okay. It's okay to be you.
That's true.
It's okay to be you.
That's true. That's true. I think growing up, I always paid attention to first ladies. I don't know. I think I was in awe about first ladies, and I grew up in a Kojic church, and they came with their big hats, and they was mild, they was meek, and I always paid attention and mirrored and looked at them, and
So the opposite.
Yeah. I was like,
That's not mild to me. No, I don't think.
I was like, if I could say anything, and mild and meek, not so much these two.
Knowing them a little bit, I didn't really get meekness.
Yeah.
But it's okay, maybe in church they do something different.
Yeah.
I don't know.
But I did take certain things from certain first ladies.
Good.
I did.
Okay.
I really did. And I listened to their conversations. I saw how they treated their husbands. I even would engage in going to some of their homes and just interact with them and listen. And even at home, they were still first lady at home. Some of the
There's no switch.
No, there was no switch. And I guess in front of the people.
Yeah.
Now, when the people, I don't know what they were doing.
Right.
But in front of their members, they were still first lady of
Oh,
the house.
absolutely.
They were still that mild meat and still catering and still serving. So I took certain things from different first ladies and I incorporated in myself, but I'm still Tracy.
Right.
Yes.
I still like my big hair. You know, instead of my hat, I wear big hair.
Well, ladies, do you feel obligated to back your husbands in whatever they may be doing?
Well, yeah, that's come with marriage.
Mm-hmm.
That comes with marriage. They're gonna, hopefully, your husband should back you if there comes a time that you step out in ministry or a business adventure or whatever. They should be able to back you, and likewise. So it comes with marriage. There's no, oh, I in marriage now. It's us.
Right.
Us.
We. What are
Right.
we?
Right. Our.
Exactly. And I'm just gonna say, and sometimes they come with an idea, and they come to see where our head is, because I think we're smarter than them anyway. But they come to see where our heads are, and I would tell my husband, so let me just pray on it and think about it, because he already, we're gonna do it, and I'm like, no, I don't think we should do it. And then if it falls through, like, thank you for not going along with me.
Mm-hmm.
So I think God put the woman in that life to be that thinker, I should say. Make them
The
think.
rest of that mind.
Exactly.
The rest of.
The rest of.
Yes.
Well, I would say, yeah, the obligation is there, but a lot of it, especially with my husband, a lot of it I do it out of love. Because nobody's going to cover my husband like I can. Nobody's going to pray for him like I do. Nobody's going to back him like I do.
Let the woman meet you, take care of your husband.
Right. And those that know me know that I am my husband's biggest cheerleader. I am his biggest supporter. Yes. What?
Surprise.
So, out of love, because number one, I believe in his ministry, and I believe in the God in him. So, of course, I have to. I have no choice but to back him. I have no choice.
That's true.
So being in that role and supporting my husband, and he's the pastor and preaching engagements all the time, do you guys feel limited in the amount of personal ministry you can do? Like, do you feel like maybe you shouldn't or can't branch out on your own ministry because you won't be able to take care of your husband as well?
I wouldn't say that I'm limited. I would say that I'm probably a little bit more cautious about what I go stick my hands into, what I agree to do, and I do speak with him about it, because what you don't want to do is create a conflict within your house or within ministry. So I'm a lot more cautious about it.
Right.
Of course, praying about it, stepping out before I get out, and even with the blog that I recently started, I spoke with him first. Well, what do you think about this? Is this gonna, is this okay? And he was like, yeah, go for it. So I think with stuff like that, it's more or less I go speak to him to make sure that there's no conflict. I make sure, because he's supportive of me being out there.
The blog.
About
Let's
the
talk
blog.
about this blog, honey.
This blog, Unshaded Revelations. There was conversation between myself and two young ladies regarding what.
You did?
Yes, there was a conversation that took place at the start of something they were doing. And God laid it on my heart. Well, if he's called me to, I've always told my husband that my purpose, I found my purpose, was to empower women. To empower women and children. So, I'm a teacher. On one hand, I'm a teacher in my natural profession. And then I was like, well, God, how am I going to empower women? What's the medium? I understand I have the women at the church, but how am I going to get to all of these women, out there that need to hear from me or what God has said? And Unshaded Revelations was birthed. We have unshadedrevelations.blogspot.com.
You guys get that, okay?
Say that again a little bit slow.
Unshadedrevelations.blogspot.com. And I promise you, if you just take a gander at it, I promise it'll bless you.
It's absolutely amazing. It's my favorite read every week.
Yes.
I look forward to it. when God put home break, I was a little upset, but it was God. So you shut up and you take it, okay?
What about your personal ministries that you were into right now that you were doing?
Right now, I go different places and speak. When the opportunity arises, and if pastors say, okay, I can go, I try not to put too much on my plate.
Right.
Because, like I said, I am still a mother, and I don't want to overwhelm myself where I can't also enjoy my child. So I try to get engagements and talk it over with pastor, and he said yes, and if it's not a conflict with home and other, I try to do it all, most of it I can, speaking and empowering and just speaking the truth.
Right.
Giving the truth, unadulterated truth about the word.
Yes.
You know, we've been blinded with so much, so the unadulterated truth.
So how do you view your roles in the church? How do you view your roles in the church?
Support. I think for me, my role is support. I've always stated, especially since I've gotten married, that my first ministry is my husband. And so with my ministry, my first ministry being him, then I'm here as a support to him.
Right.
I'm here to make sure that his vision is carried out just as God has given it to him. I'm here to help him with if he needs some projects. You don't understand, well, baby, how can we get this done? Well, I have a separate perspective that he does, because when you become pastor, your perspective changes.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. Some people don't believe that, but your perspective changes. And so I'm still a church member and first lady, so I'm able to say, well, babe, this may be the way this comes across. You might not want to do this. So I think for me, my role would be as a support.
Mine is a support and a server.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a server to the congregation, because they're looking to me, especially women, for, although I'm the youngest, I'm a young first lady, and I have older women that I'm over that in the congregation, they still respect me. So that's a blessing. But mine is more of a serving those women, serving and interceding and praying for them. Mine's more as a servant.
Okay. So are there certain conflicts that happen within the ministry that cross over into your marriage? And how do you resolve them once they come up?
Thank God I haven't had that yet. Happened to
You
me.
haven't experienced
I
that yet?
haven't. Thank the Lord.
That is a blessing.
Bless God.
That is a blessing.
Well, bless.
I feel like it's a little different in this area. Yeah, it's a little heavier on this side of the set.
Well, how do we deal with, say that question one more time? I have to make sure I'm answering it
Are
correctly.
have you experienced conflicts within the ministry or at the church? We're at church, something happens, and he's upset, and neither one of you agree on how to deal with it. And it follows you all the way home. We made it to 929. We made it to 929. Not to the driveway. We have crossed the threshold. We're in the bedroom. We're in the living room. We made it.
Yes, it has. Now, at the church, we do our best to make sure that, we're good.
Don't let everybody out the door.
Right. But when we get home, now look, I think you should have. You should probably, and even sometimes I would have to admit that sometimes I may overstep my boundaries. But because I want the best for him, and I don't want any misconceptions or any misunderstandings of, well, pastor didn't say, or well, pastor said, or this is what. I'm really apt to tell him, well, maybe even just yesterday we had a similar issue where I, went to go talk to him about something that happened, and he wasn't hearing it. He told me, I'm pastor. You know what? You're right. You are pastor. And I understand, I understand. It takes a lot of restraint to keep my mouth closed. 'Cause that's my biggest issue.
Now you shut me down, so I really got something to say.
and that's when I really want to say something. Is when you done told me, I'm bad. Okay, you get right.
You right.
Because we got titles.
Right. But we try to, we do our best to leave the conflict at the church. But when it does come home, we try and resolve it. We're we communicate. We talk.
That's important.
We talk about it. And if we disagree, guess what? We agree to disagree and keep it moving.
Right.
9 times out of 10, I was right anyway, so it'll come back.
Wow.
Going to admit that we're gonna leave this alone.
Right there. I was right anyway, so.
So we know pastors are in the limelight and they're attractive, otherwise you wouldn't have wanted them, but then their anointing makes them so much more attractive. And then you have those members who care not about that ring that you placed on his finger at your wedding ceremony. So how do we deal with the women who would prefer to disrespect their marital status and you sitting wherever you are in plain sight and come after your husband?
Are they doing it in front of us?
Well,
You know what? Let's explore both aspects of that. Because there are the ones who are blatant. They are blatantly out there.
Yeah.
And then there are the ones who sit back
Right.
and wait.
Yeah. Or while he's preaching, I'm sitting front and center so he can see me and my short skirt. And
And I'm like,
With me, God is dealing with me on that. Because in the street, I'll fight.
well, all right. Well,
I will
okay.
drag you out and we'll fight.
Right.
I'm just going to be honest with you because first of all,
you're
you
disrespecting me.
disrespect me because I won't disrespect you.
Right.
True.
Secondly, and if you doing it blatantly, first I'm gonna let you know. First, this is my husband. Then I'm gonna let my husband correct that. He corrected. Because if I bring it to your attention, my husband needs to say, "Now this is my wife. Don't disrespect her." It's harder when that man says it. If I say it, she'll come continue.
Yes, yes.
Because she wants me to come out of character, so I can do what I used to do.
Right.
So she wants that. But if my husband corrects it and
Shuts that down.
shut it down, 9 times out of 10, she gonna back off. If she doesn't, and now she not gonna talk.
Right.
We're gonna talk. We're gonna really have a serious conversation because maybe she probably wasn't raised right. Maybe she wasn't taught that you don't do that. Some
That could be.
some of us.
That's a
some
great way to
people
look at it. She
Yeah.
doesn't
were
know any
brought
better.
up to you go after what you want. I don't care if it does have a ring on the finger.
Oh.
So maybe that I need to talk to that individual, but I'm gonna be praying in the spirit, of the Lord, get a word in my mouth.
Absolutely.
Because when that spirit's arising, you don't know what's going to happen. So first of all, you got to be prayed up. You got to be prayed up because that old Tracy might come out, and that old spirit might come out. That person, well, here we are about to
Right.
fight.
Because even on the best day, the
Yeah.
wrong thing.
Yeah.
That's
real.
I won't say a whole lot.
Yeah.
You say the wrong thing on the right day.
So the ink's not dry, but God
Right.
is still working on me, and God is elevating me. But I'm also God giving me discernment.
Right.
And if I can pick it up, I'm praying and asking God, now you deal with it. Because when he started dealing with it,
Whole
I
different
can't
ball
do
game.
nothing.
Right.
Different
I
ball
don't have to
game.
do anything.
So what about you?
What about you?
Well, I've dealt with the blatant, just outright, everybody knows. And I've dealt with those that were kind of underhanded. And it's crazy because I've only been married a little over a year. But it's like they all came together. No, but I dealt with it before we got married. Right before we got married, it was a lot going on. And it would be nice to say, if your husband would deal with it first. But a lot of times it's not quite that easy, as easy as we would like it, because a lot of times women are smart. We're smart creatures. We're smart.
It's the second or third time y'all heard me pick up on that,
We're smart. And so we find sneaky ways, little underhanded ways to do things and to be disrespectful. Creative. There we go.
Creative. That's a good word.
We find creative ways to do things and to be, oh no, that's not what I meant by that. And oh no, so it's a lot of times it is difficult for the man of God to go ahead and say, no.
So if you bring it to your husband and say, honey, this was going on. I need you to open your eyes, and I also need you to correct this. And I think if most of the time when we bring it to them and their eyes are open and because most of them they don't see it, we see it because we know
Most
we're
definitely.
women.
We probably done it before.
We're women.
If you understand it. So if we bring it to that our husband attention, like, okay, honey, can you address this? And 9 times out of 10, most men don't want their wife unhappy.
Most definitely.
Because if the house is unhappy, the whole place is unhappy. Anyway, if that person continue to do it, you bring it to your husband's attention and say, baby, fix it. Correct it. Correct this. Because it's going to escalate. And it's going to get worse and worse and worse. So I've seen when a man corrected, that woman, oh, I'm sorry. And 9 times 10, they back off. But when that woman corrected, oh, you got a misunderstanding. You don't understand what I'm saying. So
I definitely agree because I've seen that. I've seen the, the women go or I go and it's no, of course not.
Oh.
What do you mean?
I would never.
Right. And even if they're not at the point to where they're ready to tell your husband that that's what that is, they'll still, they misunderstood. That's not what I meant. But it becomes easier to address it when it's almost outright. What everybody's saying.
I don't know what's happening over
Right.
there.
That's what we
They've left us, but we're going to continue talking. It's easier.
It's easier to address when it's outright. And a lot of the things that I have come across were outright disrespectful, where other people could see it and sense it. And so it's a difficult position to be in.
And so, how do you keep from, because women, we pick up on a lot. And so, you don't want to say something every time to where your husband is like, oh, you're just insecure. So how do you, is there ever a time I don't have to bring this to him? Let me just pull her and tell her, baby, I see you, sit down.
I will say this. I was speaking to another first lady. They've been married over 40-some years, and she's been the first lady, right? She's been the first lady for over 30 years. And so I was speaking to her, and she said, well, baby, you don't have to tell him every time. Every time you see it, you don't have to tell him. It's not for you to tell him. That's your cue to go pray. That's your cue to go talk to God and let God guide you on what to do. Because a lot of times we step out of character and we step out of turn. And we go ahead and go speak, and God ain't said nary a thing. And when you go do that, that's when situations become, bigger than what they should have been. And so she told me, she said, baby, you don't have to say something to him every time. Go pray.
that's true.
Go pray. She said, one thing you'll learn is that prayer changes things. So go pray.
That's true.
Better believe it.
That's true.
Well,
See,
That's
yes, because I'm just
well, you know what? We just helped you since you have not been in that situation. We just helped you.
It's coming.
Is it? I don't understand what are they after if they only had to walk in these shoes.
And they don't know.
Yes.
That's what it is. They don't know. Because my husband is not even a pastor. He's just a minister. And when he accepted and pastor pulled us in the study to talk about it, that's the first thing he said. He said, you're going to be more attractive now than you ever were your entire life, just because of the anointing.
I'm going to tell you what it is. Because, and once I tell you, I think we all can relate. Women like authority.
Yes. Yes.
Like authority.
I can say that.
So,
that's true.
So if we like authority or we like status,
Yes.
titles,
Yes.
we like all of those things.
They see
And
the
so
glam
because-
of
right,
first lady.
that's what why shouldn't I? Why wouldn't that be me? Why shouldn't that be me? Why wouldn't he? And that's the attitude behind it. I see the authority, so I want a man with authority. I want that one. Now he might be somebody else's, but I want that one. That's me.
To just be seen with him.
Right.
That's sad.
I would
You
be
just-
You just need to stay prayed up. You just stay
Basically.
prayed up. You need to stay prayed up.
You do. You really do.
You women are helping somebody.
Yeah, they're helping each other.
Right.
So we're going to take a really quick break and slide a commercial in right quick, and then we'll be back with these two
For
ladies.
all of your fence and decking needs, choose a professional with over 40 years experience and a AAA rating with the Better Business Bureau. Super Fence Company is committed to going the extra mile to ensure customer satisfaction. Call 214-454-4847 today and schedule your free estimate. Our motto is, your privacy is our priority.
Welcome back. And we are still here with elect Lady Tracy Anderson and elect Lady Chelsea Jackson. Okay, we have to know, what are some of the best moments about being a first lady?
You like ladies want to go first?
I go first. Deliverance. I've seen a lot of people getting delivered.
Oh, that's wonderful.
People
That's
getting
wonderful.
delivered. That is one of my best moments, seeing some deliverance take place. That is one of my best moments.
What about you? I almost feel shallow with her. But the pastor and wife's anniversary celebration, it was one of the best that I've been to, and the second one that I've been a part of. But they made me cry, and I don't cry in front of people like that.
The ugly one?
The ugly cry. Like I even had to take my little fan and try and cover my face because it was like broke. But they really they pulled on my heartstrings. It was they had people wrote a letter. One of my cousins wrote a letter that doesn't even live here.
Wow.
As a tribute to me. I had friends that told me they weren't coming that popped up and to do a tribute to me. Yes. And they were good surprises, very good surprises. So that's been one of the best feelings or the best moments that we've had.
So what has been some of your most humbling experiences since you both started your journeys?
Trusting God.
He will break you down.
Everything. Trusting Him. Like I said previously, God took me off my job. But prior to that, I could command any salary I wanted. I could go anywhere and get a job. But He closed that because I trusted my education. I trusted my money to get what I wanted, to get whatever I wanted and desired. But now He said, now I want you to trust me.
Wow.
So He's making me trust Him for everything. So it's a humbling moment. So I'm like, Lord, I better trust myself.
Right.
How can I trust
I'm
you?
gonna give it all to you.
So now He's making me trust Him. And it's so humbling, and it's like, wow. Wow, He's wowing me in everything. Even in the ministry, just starting off with just 3 people, now it's increasing daily, Sunday after Sunday. He's wowing me. And He just said, just trust me. If you trust me, I do it. So He's making me trust Him.
It's crazy because I have to concur. We went through, going through financial struggle.
Right.
And, I've always been, if I wanted to go get something, I was going out to go get it because I had it, and that's just what that is. But at this stage, I can no longer go do that.
Right.
And so it's crazy. We tell people all the time to walk by faith. And God has made me go do this faith walk, but go through this faith walk. And I've always said we walk by faith and not by sight. Not realizing I really wasn't walking by faith. I was still putting my hands on it, and I'm going to figure this out, and we're going to get this together.
Right.
But at this stage, I have no choice but to walk by faith. There's nothing else there. That bank account don't look nothing like I would want it to look. So I have to. Right. It's very limiting. And so I have to walk by faith. I have to trust Him. I'm not going to say it's easy.
No.
It's not an easy thing to do.
We will not lie to
Right.
you.
I'm not going to say that it's an easy thing to do. But you have to. And I promise you, your reward is going to be much greater than what you have going on right now.
Right. And I think if we're going to be leaders, we got to go through something.
Most definitely.
We're going to have to
Most
go through
definitely.
something. I can't tell you God is a healer if I've never been healed.
Right.
I can't tell you
Right.
God provided for me, He never done
Right.
it for me. So we're going to have to do it. It's uncomfortable. I don't like it, but we're going to have to go through it. And God, sometimes I used to say, God, people serving God just for what they can get. Or for who He really is.
Right.
Yeah.
So I want to seek God for His face,
Right.
not His hands.
Not his hands, right.
His head and everything. If I seek His face, everything will trickle down.
Right.
So I want to seek God for His face, not for what He can do for me. Yes, all that will come in, but He said, if you're going to live it, I want to see, can I really trust you? Can I trust you? Y'all want these titles and them pastors. Can I trust you?
Right.
That's the whole thing. Can I trust you? And can you stay in position to get the rewards that I have for you? That's all. We got to stay in position to get the rewards, but you also got to trust us for it. So that's humbling.
So what are some positive things about being the first lady? Hello?
Is that thing?
Hello?
Is that it? Did we miss it?
Can I say, but ain't none?
There's not a positive about
Ain't nothing
Y'all
positive
heard
about being
that.
a first lady.
Y'all listen.
It's a title.
You know what, elect lady, I'm going to do this to you because I have to.
Okay.
There are women, young women, who are being groomed
Yes.
to be first ladies, to be groomed to
I
be.
heard that.
Yeah, I'm
I'm going to marry
I'm
a
going
pastor.
to marry a pastor.
Are you dating a pastor?
Yeah.
I missed something.
And there are women who believe that is their calling, their purpose on their life.
Wow. And you know, too much is good. So you want that title? Get ready, because it's going to require a lot, and you're going to require, and a lot of people, a lot of things going to be coming. And women, as we were talking earlier, women just throwing themselves after your husband. They doing it now. They're not even having a title, but just think when that up there and they send that prestige title, they coming. So you're going to have to be humble and praying. And you think you praying Monday and Tuesday and Friday, you're going to pray Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. You're going to have to push you back from that plate because it's going to require a lot from you. A lot, and a lot of giving and a lot of just everything. And then you almost drain like, what about me? I'm done. What about me?
What about me?
What about me?
What about me?
About the positive, I think I'm not gonna say it's not it, but I will say that for me, and it may not even just be a first lady thing, but it wasn't until I was in this position that I began to notice and see different things. But to see people actually be delivered out of things, to see people go through their breakthroughs, get through on their breakthroughs, that is positive for me. That is like, oh my God, you used me to go tell this person this or go tell, and they're able to come out of it or they're able to deal with it or whatever. So that's my positive.
The spiritual way.
Yeah.
But naturally,
no.
It's rewarding, but naturally, it's a price. There's a price for it.
Most definitely.
It's a price for it. And if you're willing to pay that price, go find you one. You know?
Don't walk into that unless you were sent into that because you're setting yourself up for failure.
But see, I didn't marry a pastor. I married a man first.
Right.
He wasn't a pastor.
Right.
So now he is a pastor. I'm like, I
I
what
didn't sign
is
up.
this?
Right.
I did not sign up for this.
I pictured our life.
But she pictured us just traveling and doing what I want to do. Now I'm like, really? Church, ministry, and people, and
All the time.
souls, and having that open communication, and praying for folks 1 or 2 o'clock in the morning. Really? You know, really? And I pray more for him than I do for myself. I pray for more and then I do my child. I'm like, really? Wow.
I would have never, in all my years, I would have never said that I was going to be a pastor's wife, a preacher's wife, a deacon's wife.
That's both of us sitting on this back row right.
That wasn't me. Now, I've always been in church. I grew up in church, but I never wanted that role. That wasn't something that I wanted. So I would say to the woman that is going after, is that what we said? She's going after. Baby, don't do that. If God didn't call you to it or call you to that man, and that's leave it alone. Nothing good is really gonna come from that if God didn't call you to it.
That's true.
The pictures are cute. That's it.
That's it.
Right. It looks perfect in a photograph.
I promise you don't want it if you're not ready. It's not something you want.
So, ladies in the spotlight, how do you handle the criticism? Because it's coming. You criticize waking up in the morning sometimes. So, how do you handle the criticism?
I just take it with a grain of salt and just let it roll off because there's so much. People are going to criticize you. if your hair is straight. They're going to criticize you if your skirt too long. They're going to criticize your skirt too short. Criticize you because I got these long earrings on. They're going to do it because some people just do it because they're not happy with themselves. You know, and I come to realize if you're not happy with yourself, you got to pick on somebody. Why not the first lady? So I guess God put that thick skin on you and make you get comfortable and just let it roll off and roll off. But they understand some of the words hurt.
Yes.
That stuff
Some
hurt.
of that stuff gets through.
It penetrates and it hurts. And then that flesh is weak. And you're like, okay, Lord, now what am I going to do? I want to tap this person on the shoulder. So you don't hurt my feelings now. Especially if you hurt my husband's feelings.
That's not what you said? That's not.
I would say more than that.
We're maturing, we're elevating in Christ. So I'm like, and then they'll say things to hurt you and hurt your husband.
Most definitely.
And I'm not going to sit there and let you just hurt my husband.
Talk about it.
I'm not going to let you do that. You're going to compliment him, that's it. Anything else, you talk to God about it. Don't come to me and tell me about my husband. I know everything about him. I study him. Constantly.
Your husband.
I study him.
Oh, that's it, Dan. Right there.
I study him.
I like that choreology.
I study from head to toe. I know when in pain. I know when something's going on. I know when I need to shut up. I know when I need to intervene. I study him. So you don't have to tell me anything. All you need to do is I'm praying for you and your husband. That's all I need to hear. Don't exactly. Just do it. Yeah,
Just
criticize.
We don't have
You
to
ain't walking them shoes.
Right.
You don't know what he's going through
Right.
or what we're going through.
Right.
So don't criticize. And I miss those old mothers that was in the church. They could just come and say, they're going to pray for you. They lay hands on you and just intercede. They don't, now these people, oh, baby, you ain't doing this right. No, I don't need that because I'm going through something right now.
Right.
Ask God to give you that discernment to come and say, I'm praying for you. You know, pray for me. And that's why we used to say, pray for your leaders.
Yes.
Intercede for your leaders.
Yes.
Because it's hard. It is hard.
They're carrying your burdens.
Exactly.
So who's carrying theirs?
Exactly.
Who's caring for them while they're going through theirs?
Exactly.
As far as God is dealing with me on that now. It's criticism. Handling the criticism. Because, elect ladies, said earlier she could take you out to the streets. Well, I'm from the hood. I'm from the cliff. So,
I'm from the north.
No, baby, no. No. But all of that wants to come up and out, especially when I hear people, or there's been conversations about my husband. I'd rather say the conversations about me, I deal with, but the conversations about him, that's a no-no.
Yeah.
I don't play those games. I don't. So he's dealing with me on handling that. The way I've handled it has been not to say anything. It's been to kind of keep my mouth closed because I'm learning what to say and what not to say. Because I'm very direct. I'm very straightforward. Yes, you didn't know? Yes. I'm very direct, very straightforward. And so my straightforwardness may not be received, or my directness may not be received correctly from the person that I'm speaking with. Right. So I'm learning how to handle the criticism, but as of right now, my mouth is closed. Now my face may say something else. Sorry.
And it does, boo.
My face may say something else, but I'm learning how to deal with the criticism.
Now, because you guys see this taping, don't try us now. Don't
Right.
try us.
Oh,
Don't try us.
Come after them. Don't come after them.
Don't please.
Don't
I know that.
Don't comfort them unless they sin for you.
And they are mighty in the word, and they walk with the same God we do. But I think, sometimes they let it loose and get you.
Sometimes old man comes back.
Lord, I hear you, but no.
And we're all still growing, so
Yes,
judge them
yes,
not, because
yes.
then I'm gonna have an issue. Don't
Yes.
Well, see, that's what I think is what is great about this conversation is because it shows that you're human, that you're a woman, that you have really true feelings. And to see that, and then for people to go, she's the first lady. She shouldn't be acting like that. She shouldn't say that. No, I'm a woman first.
Yes.
I'm a married woman, and so don't come for me unless I sin for you, because I've been saved all my life. You know what I mean? That's real, and that's what I love about you guys.
You you come for me, I might come get you.
Oh, okay.
Reach
Don't
out
reach
to
that
the
hand down. All right.
grab hold.
And I think that's what one of the best things about this is that you guys are like, don't let the pearls in the nails and the heels fool you.
They all come
I'm
off.
a woman. Yeah.
They all come off.
Quit. See how this goes?
But then I think people try to get us out of character.
They
Yes.
do.
So they can say, oh, they're not saved.
They do.
Or they're not living right. But I'm human.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm still striving to be Christ-like every day.
Mm-hmm.
So, but we still have to pray, constantly pray. That's why I keep positive people around me.
Yes.
Praying people around. I don't have a lot of folks. I don't have a lot of friends. There's just several people I keep around me because I need them to uphold me.
Mm-hmm.
And also I need to be accountable. I need somebody to look. Did I just hear this correctly? Because sometimes I hear something that's totally different, and I have to go and say, okay, maybe I'm hearing something different. Will you explain this to me? And if they explain it, that's what I mean. Okay, we're going to deal with it.
Mm-hmm.
But we have to just, I used to say, we got to be careful for nothing.
Mm-hmm.
Careful for nothing. I used to hear the old mother say, be careful. Now I see you got to be careful for nothing. Careful for nothing. Because as we grow and elevate in Christ, there are going to be some people coming.
Yes.
The demons are coming.
Yes.
The spirits are coming.
Yes.
So that's making us stay on our game too.
Yes.
That's making us stay on our face. That's making us push our plate back. Because the devil's doing his part.
Yes.
What are we doing?
Yeah.
Are we
Yes.
staying focused? Are we standing in our word? Are we staying stronger in Christ so we can fight that spirit?
And even with to tag on to what you're saying, my husband told me not too long ago. He said, baby, he said the church is growing.
Mm-hmm.
People are coming. He said there's going to be many more that are talking and many more that are criticizing.
Yes.
Are you going to try and nip every one of them
Exactly.
in the bud?
Mm-hmm.
He said you can't. He said because at that point you've lost focus.
Yeah.
You're no longer focused on the task at hand or what God has put you there
Yeah.
for. You're focusing on what everybody else is saying.
Exactly.
So we have to learn to get to the point to where it no longer bothers us. It just rolls off like water. You know, now I'm not gonna say you can go ahead and say whatever
Right.
you say to my
It
husband.
doesn't start now.
Disclaimer. Well, that's not what that means. But what it does mean is that we understand where we are and we understand what God's call is on our life and we understand what He's told us to do and what not to do. So that disclaimer again, not Pastor
Do
Jackson
not come
or Pastor Fred Anderson.
for
That's
these
not
men
what
of
we do.
God. They are covered well.
UCJ, you know.
All those names. All those names. They're all the same man. She's not playing with the child.
Not at all.
We're not responsible for anything that happens after this film. And if you come after that man, Sweet didn't do it.
You're right. Right. There was no encouraging of going after PCJ or after Pastor Anderson.
I'm just saying.
Blessing.
Well, ladies, what advice can you give to ladies who are women who are about to walk into what you guys have experienced?
Like this is already their man. This is not I'm going forward. This is my husband or this is my fiance. Or my husband just told me we're going to start a ministry.
Okay, one thing that I wish somebody had said to me, you know, everybody gave me advice when you're getting married, or, you know, don't go to bed angry, or don't leave the house angry, but nobody said, and I promise you, no one said it. Nobody said, baby, pray. I've grown up in church all my life, and I understand the power of prayer, but I didn't understand the power of prayer until I married Corey F. Jackson. I think I'm CFJ. It wasn't until then that I understood the power of prayer. Prayer truly does change things. I know it sounds cliche-ish, but prayer changes things.
That's true.
So when all types of things are being thrown at you, whether it's family, because I've dealt with that, whether it's your health, I've dealt with that, whether it's people not liking your husband, I've dealt with that, whether it's the women, I've dealt with that too. Prayer changes things. And if it doesn't change the situation, God will change your perspective of the situation.
That's powerful.
Mm-hmm.
That's
So
powerful.
prayer changes things. Grow your prayer life.
Mm-hmm.
If you do nothing else, grow your prayer life.
And be careful who you connect to.
Yes.
Be careful who you connect to and what you connect with.
Yes.
Because of that title, people are going to try to get to you, close to you, just to learn to figure you out. And sometimes we want to let our hair down, but we can't with everybody.
Right.
So you got to be careful who you connected to. And be careful who you allow in your space. And I'm learning that I have to prune people. And the people, if you're not willing to come up with me, I got to prune. It hurts. I have to prune.
Yes.
And if that means I'm being by myself, I'm going to stay by myself. So I have to be careful. And you can't connect with every first lady neither.
Right.
Right.
And there's some messy ones out there.
Yeah.
Right.
I hate to say it, but there's some messy. And it's some messy church folks.
Yeah.
So you just have to be careful who you connect to and what you connect with. And just what you say, pray. Pray, pray, pray. And not just pray.
Right.
Your
Mean
face down
it.
and pray constantly and pray. And just while you pray and meditate, let God speak to you.
Yes.
That's God. We always talk. But let God speak to you.
Yes.
Because He will tell you. Oh, if I can't stress this enough, He will talk to you. If you connected to God, He will talk to you. And you praying to Him, He will tell you. And He will also forewarn you. He will tell you what's coming up. And about them women. He'll tell you about them things. He'll tell you about them flus that's coming up. And tell you how to handle them.
Floozies.
Floozies.
I haven't heard that in a while.
Floozies. That's what they, Jezebel spirit.
Yes, sir.
Oh, there you go.
He will tell you about them. And He will tell you how to handle them.
Yeah.
He will tell you how to handle it. It might come in a dream, and the mothers, I miss the mothers of the church, because they will teach you and tell you how to do all this stuff. But if you just keep a prayer life and stay connected to the right person and connected to God, you can't go wrong. You can't go wrong. You're going to have some crying times, though. You're going to cry.
Oh, yeah. It's not an easy walk. It's not a cakewalk. I'm not envious.
Hey!
Yes, not at all. You guys can have it. Lord bless you. You are strong vessels that He created. That's why He stuck y'all
With them. With them. Well, ladies, it has been an honor.
Yes.
Greatly appreciate you guys opening up to us.
Yes.
All of us.
To America. This is the World Wide Web to everybody
across the
and
world.
letting us in just enough to know that the pictures are fake. And they only tell part of the story. You know, they tell that we know how to smile well and we look good.
Yes.
It does not tell our story.
Yes.
So we appreciate that.
Yes.
And
Yes.
we love you, ladies.
Thank you
You're
for
too
having
about
us.
to behave with people. And so you guys have no idea the treat that you got today. I hope you take heed. I hope you listen. And even if you're not the first lady or the future first lady, some of you might be her friend or her sister or her mother. And this is some of the things that she's going to be dealing with. And she needs you guys to understand part of her life.
And also have an open ear. Sometimes we come to you just for you to vent.
Yes.
Sometimes we just want to vent. We need something, and then you have to have somebody that you can vent to that you know is not going nowhere.
Yes.
Nowhere, anywhere. And they always say talk to God, but sometimes you need a human person. I need somebody I can vent to and say, this done went on and I can't do this no more, but tomorrow I'm up here worshiping God and that person is have no attention, pay no attention to what I had to say. They just let me vent.
They knew you were having a moment.
Exactly. And we need someone to vent to.
Absolutely.
Look at that. We hope that this helped.
Yes.
We hope that even it helped y'all.
It did.
Most definitely.
That's what we're supposed to learn from each other.
Yes.
Sweet.
Yes.
Sweet. Ooh, this purpose keeps coming up. Okay, so we'll be right back with our next segment. And we're going to mop it up.
All of your fence and decking needs. Choose a professional with over 40 years experience and a AAA rating with the Better Business Bureau. Super Fence Company is committed to going the extra mile to ensure customer satisfaction. Call 214-454-4847 today and schedule your free estimate. Our motto is, your privacy is our priority.
And welcome back to Mop It Up, Moment of Purpose. We are back with our lovely first ladies. They were not ready to go, so we let them stick around. I guess they got some more to say. Today's moment of purpose is coming from Ephesians 5:33. But each of you must love his wife as he loves himself, and a wife must respect her husband.
When I look at you ladies and I think about you ladies, I think first of all about the first ladies who I've encountered, the first ladies who affected my life. And the words come to me, meek and mild. like elect Lady Anderson said. And I look at the new models, 2015, the new models, and I see grace and poise and class and sophistication with you ladies. And my moment of purpose has absolutely to do with the fact that it's a calling. It is a purpose on your life to be a first lady. And then there's love and there's honor and there's respect and there's admiration for you women who keep the man of God covered. And I want to honor you ladies because you have feelings. You have emotions, and a lot of us don't get the opportunity to see because all we see is this is the pastor's wife and she's supposed to be this way. But when I look at you ladies, I'm completely enamored of you ladies because I see what God is doing for you. I see that God has a purpose for you, and only a special woman can be married to the pastor of a church. And I love you ladies so much. Thank you for sharing your feelings and your time. It's a purpose, honey. And I'm really glad
That he gave it to somebody
that
else.
somebody else has his purpose and that God called you. And you're right. Who knows? I'm going to talk to Jesus myself. You guys are human and you're women and you're strong, beautiful women. And I feel so empowered knowing. That is my purpose. Bless God for you guys. We hope that you have had an amazing time with us because we've had an amazing time with you. So until our next episode, we've swept the airwaves and mopped it up. You guys have a great evening.